Welcome to Blabbering, a week-by-week glimpse into a couple stumbling through life with a newborn.
I'm Tilly.
And I'm Dan.
Each week over dinner,
You'll learn Tilly is quite the feeder.
We'll discuss the realities of raising our baby, talking through the highs, lows and honest confessions of this thing called parenting.
Parenting won't be easy, but let's at least laugh about it. This is Blabbering.
Welcome to this week of Blabbering. What week we on?
5.
Yeah, week number 5.
That was a question.
Yeah, how old's our daughter?
She's 5 weeks, yeah.
So, what do we have for food this week?
Today, at the request of you, we've got noodlies. We've got crispy pork noodles. I could come up with some sexier name for them. Not too saucy, don't want them too saucy, want a little more chummy. That's what I went for. And then we've got nutty caramel pudding.
And what were you eating it out of?
Tupperwares, because we're classy and they've got this sound of plates annoying you. So now, this is what we have. We've got plastic Tupperware, but metal cutlery. Because you didn't want the children cutlery, because it's too small and you can put nothing in your mouth.
See, what I really want is just normal plates, but normal size plastic cutlery.
Well, we could buy it. We do have some somewhere for you to hand and stuff. See, smaller mouthfuls. You really should have smaller mouthfuls. Yeah. And one day, Dan will teach you his technique of fitting loads of food in his mouth. His always gulleting.
Yeah, I managed to eat like a gull so that I can consume a lot of food at once. Got a small mouth, but an ambitious appetite. Desire to get food in my mouth.
So this week, you're back at work?
And the tongue tie off.
And the tongue tie off.
So
Big week.
Yeah, last week, both those things were kind of...
Well, we weren't sure we were going to do it, were we? Because we were
Exactly.
told not to go for the tongue tie. Well, not, it wasn't necessary. So, after our appointment last week, she said that we didn't really need to go for the tongue tie operation because actually it wasn't going to improve it that much. We decided we'd go for all these other methods of trying to increase milk supply and different ways of feeding her. She did do, but she was still a bit fussy and still needing quite a lot of formula to fill her up enough. And so I decided actually let's just go for the tongue tie procedure because she was still struggling to feed unless the boob was completely full. And once it sort of had the initial letdown, she then started to struggle. And so it was so it still was top up quite a lot of formula. And I there's nothing wrong with formula. I want to try and do as much as possible from the boob.
Yeah.
And so it was on Thursday we went in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she had done. And it was very quick, but it was horrible. I really did not like the noises she was making. I was just screaming there, the fingers in her mouth. It sounded so panicked just from crying. And I was just like, oh.
But it was so quick.
So speedy. I mean, I was feeling that upset for a very small period of time.
Well, the amount of time that she was actually at risk of something going wrong was low, but the amount of time that she was screaming was quite high because they have to force the mouth open to have a look around. And so at that point, she's obviously feeling pretty invaded, gripping her head and opening her mouth.
With her squeezing each other's hands.
And they agreed on how they were going to do it and everything like that. And then literally she just takes the scissors out of the sanitary pack, peels that, looks at the nurse holding the baby, agrees that they're ready to go, just scissors straight in,
I didn't want
clip, pulls out, done. It was literally less than probably a second of actual...
Yeah, and then we went straight next door and put a strap on the boob, and that's because that stops the bleeding.
Yeah.
So we went straight through to the other room, and then there's a midwife there to help you with the feeding. They support your needs, so she helps you try on the boob, she feeds for a little bit, and then take her off to check that she has stopped bleeding, and then you continue doing a feed.
The big thing that all the midwives seem to be pushing that we haven't, given that they repeat it, we must not be doing, is that chin to tit.
I do chins to it.
Okay, I'm just saying that every time we go to see...
Well, no, they've said because that's the important bit, so I always have her tuck her in so she's that's why I pull her in so tight, because when you pull in her bum, it pulls the chin in.
Yeah.
And so I always tuck her bum and her legs, and she's just so bloody long, I'd sort of wrap her around my body.
Yeah.
Tuck her in, that sort of brings her in. Yeah, so she does do it, though. It's just important as well. They say it often. They say, chin to this, because she's already doing it, not because.
Well, I know originally I used to try and push her onto you a bit more to feed, and you were like, no, you need to give her space. And you've got to kind of like...
Well, you're not meant to push her head because she's meant
You're
to...
not meant to push her head, but you're meant to push her neck so that her chin is on
Well,
the breast.
it's more you push here, which is like her shoulders. Don't push her
Fine.
neck.
The shoulders, so that her chin is on the breast, and then like, what is it, nose to nipple.
Yeah.
And then she'll lift her head
Yeah, although she doesn't.
to find the nipple and then start sucking. But that way everything's like aligned and close.
Yeah, which is what she does do.
Whereas you used to do the Guantanamo Bay treatment, the booby boarding, whereby you'd hold her out and wait till she has a pig mouth, and then you just thrust her on your chest. Just body slam,
Sometimes it's the only
nipple
way.
into the face.
So this is what you got to do.
And then she'd be like, it's painful. I'm like, well.
When I did that, it's maybe when she did small suction. She does it open mouth, it wasn't painful. And she does that. Then she's like doing a really shallow suck. She's basically like sucking on like the tip of my nipple.
So
Really tightly.
the WWE treatment is...
Which is why my
Is a
nipple
valid-
ends up getting pinched. And everything's sort of pointy. So yeah.
Maybe you can teach the midwife seminars.
Me?
Yeah, the WWE.
Yeah, I
treatment.
obviously know enough.
Well, I'm just saying they didn't tell us about that method.
I think it's probably an official method. But they did often shove her head on. That's why I started doing it, because they were shoving
Yeah.
her head on. Because they sort of, then they sort of go, right, and they'd sort of just shove her head on my boob. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Face to tits.
But it seems like since then she is feeding better,
Yeah.
which is good. Like we've not had to do anywhere near as much formula the past couple of days.
Yeah.
It's just been when you've had her at night.
Yeah. Formula at night time.
They just had maybe 1 or 2 bowls. So your first week back to work, how'd you find it?
So, I guess it was. What's that stupid fucking anagram for fear?
For fear.
Future expectations appearing real or something. For like why people get stressed or worried about stuff.
I'm not heard of that.
Oh, it's better than that, but never mind. Anyhow, shit chat.
That's it today. When you get tired, become a sassy little missy.
I definitely had some of that going on Sunday. Like I thought it was going to be real bad or bleak. Well, not like bad as in like my colleagues would be bad and that sort of stuff. It's one of those things that you're like, it's just going to be such slog. It's going to take so long. Everything's going to be so tired. Everything's going to be so arduous. And I'm going to have lots to do when I get back. Now, the first 2 things were correct, but there wasn't loads to do. But I'm very fortunate that my team have been very kind and eased me in. So it was largely a day kind of having coffees, catching up, and just clearing down an inbox, which is quite nice.
So the inbox is always mammoth when you come back from having time off.
Yeah, I had to get it down from like 350 down to like 30. There was that many pointless emails of just internal nonsense. So yeah, went in on that Monday, and that was quite hard as well because we recorded the last episode on the Sunday, and so it was that night. So I went to sleep 10 till 2, and then got up at 2, and then I was awake the whole time, wasn't I? From 2 through till obviously going to work. And then that evening we decided to switch it around to try a different sleep pattern. And so then I was awake till 11. So I had 21 hours of being awake, including commutes and work. And I kept falling asleep on the way in on the train. And I was pretty praying that I'd miss my stop.
What did you do your alarm then? Was that a different training?
There are 3 different things. There's what I say I will do, what I want to do, and what I actually do.
Yeah.
That's like the iceberg in terms of if I could want to do all the things that I say, I'd be doing pretty well. But if I could do all the things that I want to do, I'd be so successful.
I didn't realize it was still difficult to set an alarm on the train.
No, I just forgot.
Oh, okay. No, fair enough.
It's not that it was hard, it's just that I forgot.
I thought we were going to share something like, that's what I'm working towards.
I'm working towards that lofty goal, setting an alarm.
And then have you been found working from home?
I think that's almost a bit harder, really. Because when you're not hot, well, it goes back to that kind of thing of when you don't have much on, you feel a bit guilty. But it's been, again, all with kind of the team easing me into it. There's just been easy admin stuff. So that's been quite good because it hasn't I haven't had to kind of lock myself away and be like, go away, I can't help you and Moonbeam. I've been able to.
Yeah, they'll find to so I can give it to you for a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been alright in that regard. It's been a bit weird because, it's weird being so tired and trying to work while being at home. Like, I've always been somebody that guards working at home as like proper work in terms of making sure that I get up in good time, get showered, get changed, do all these sorts of things to try and give myself a bit of a positive mindset on work, like try and detach it from normal kind of stuff. And it's very hard, it's a lot harder to do that.
I also think we tried to have like sort of things we both wanted to get done before sort of our day started, didn't we? And we got it sort of, some days we got stuff done, some days we didn't. I think we just tried.
I never got any of mine done.
No. So maybe that's what I'm saying, maybe that needs to
Yeah.
help you get into the mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when you're into the office, it's easy to get the mindset because you're in.
And then also went in on Thursday, which is good. Both days pretty good.
You had a social on Thursday, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's naughty. Stayed out till we left I think at about 8:05.
You went back till what, 10?
Whoa.
I know. Crazy.
Somebody did actually comment. The partner actually commented. It was like, I can't believe you managed to get a hall pass for this one. As I left at 8. I thought it's not exactly been an absolute wild one.
I'm a such chill partner.
Also, back when he had his kids, he probably had to be in the office 5 days a week. Whereas my trade-off is I'm only in 2 days a week.
I think it was alright first week. I thought I'd find it harder, but it was alright. I definitely need to make sure I'm out and about and like doing stuff more, because on those days where I do that, she's much better. I think she likes to be out and doing things, and well, she doesn't like it, but she's better.
Yeah, have a look around on the calendar because like the cinema near us has a baby day.
Yeah,
There's
and even just going
on Tuesdays.
yeah, and even just going for like walks and stuff as well. Just like
Yeah.
go some good podcasts, listen to us,
Listen to yourself.
meet up with people, not sure who.
Make some friends.
There's some friends. Maybe I'll go on that peanut app. I keep doing it advertised for it.
You got Tinder for mums?
Oh, sure, for dad as well, not. Or just mums.
Or I feel like dads will now be looking for mums. I bet you they don't allow like men trying to find new mum friends. It'll be like dad finding dad friends. What if there's like a little gay corner of it full of people who really fancy new dads who are just on there pretending to have a baby and trying to hunt out
What blokes trying to
hunky
find
daddies? Yeah,
I mean, you're assuming it's not lesbians on there. I mean,
it might be. Just there's not many women that straight after childbirth like.
get in the veg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Or shopping beans about to leave me. Attractive. But I'm also like, I think that's an absolutely great idea, but I'm also like, I don't want to be friends with someone just because they're a mum.
Yeah, it feels like a real low level of filter, doesn't it? It's just a biological element.
Like,
I'm not just friends with someone because they're tall. I'm also tall. I'm not like, oh, you're also 6 foot.
that was
we're
that was
mates.
why people wanted me to date you, though, because they're both tall. People were like, should date dad, he's tall. I was like, oh yeah, brilliant. But then
yeah,
annoyingly it didn't work out.
annoyingly. Well, here we are. Sorry, Moonbeam. It's annoying that me and your mum worked out.
Yeah, because we're tall. Only reason.
But
Yeah.
I get what you mean. It means that there's such a wide amount of people to then sort through again at the next level, if that makes sense. Like, there are so many people who are mums.
Yeah, and a lot of people are boring.
Yeah.
You know. Like, I meet people myself and I'm like, you're nice. You're a nice person, but
I guess you're going to have bios and stuff. So you can just be very aggressive with your swiping.
yeah.
Unless it's like addicted to cooking, you can just be like, no.
But I have friends who love cooking. My friends aren't cooks. It's not like I look for a person.
Well,
You know.
so here's an interesting one for you.
That's fine.
We're just doing a huge mouthful after saying that. So I was talking about the chess prodigy girls.
Yeah.
So there's this guy called Laszlo Polgar, who was very good at chess, loved chess, and he wanted to create. He believed that he could raise geniuses because he believed that genius wasn't nature; it was nurtured. They were bred, they were made, and he had 3 daughters. Now, at the time, I don't think there were any female chess grandmasters,
Yeah, I think that was, yeah.
and he raised all three. All 3 of his daughters became. I don't know if they all became chess grandmasters but they were all like. They were basically number 1, number 2, number 3 in the world for women, and well, I think that's what it was. They incredibly high performing to genius level, and many of them beat men at a time when chess was proliferated by men. And anyway, so I've been reading a little bit on his little book on raising geniuses. Now, most people believe that it's just going to kind of be this extremely regimented, kind of like if you've seen the film King Richard, whereby he just like boot camps his daughters through it. But actually, he talks about it and he's like, the amount of practicing and the amount of effort that goes in, it cannot be something that they don't enjoy. It has to be something that they enjoy. And so the interesting thing then is he also says that it has to be something that one of the parents is obsessed with. So there's not really that many things that I would say are, I guess, career fields or lifetime fields that I'm obsessed with. However, you're obsessed with food. So little Moonbeam could be a food genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moonbeam a food genius.
Or cereal eater.
Now that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah. So one of them. No, should be like. No, should just have an amazing palate.
Maybe, but it does make me think, can I make myself obsessed with something? And if I do, all I want it to be, but then it kind of, it seems like you're making it too forceful.
Yeah, it's very contrived then, isn't it?
And it's also kind of, you're going to have to try and practice this with your daughter for like 15, 16 years minimum. And if it's not something that you do know that you are, it should definitely be something that you're obsessed about before, so you can just double down on your obsession of. Unfortunately, the Pokemon trading card game app doesn't cut it.
Pokemon or cooking?
I did used to work with somebody who used to go around the world representing South Africa in the Pokemon trading card game.
Is that sick?
Yeah, there's world tournaments.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and you'd have countries and
Are
stuff.
they all virgins?
I mean, he gave off those vibes, but...
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Hours later, after explaining all the intricacies of Pokemon.
But why, if there are fixes to the cards, you can use it. Why are they illegal?
Because over time, they've recognised that the way those cards interact with other cards is either too powerful or does things that shouldn't, and therefore...
I like there's like a controlling league that's like, no. Chalky-Walky-Flabby-Pon.
So, yeah, I'd have to amass quite a lot of cards.
Okay.
I reckon the world champs probably have 1,000 odd cards or so shuffling out. So back to what we were saying, I don't think the obsession shouldn't be Pokemon cards. Otherwise, also...
I don't want to raise a daughter who's obsessed.
No, I don't want to raise a daughter who's in...
I don't want to raise any child. If she's a son or a daughter, don't matter. I don't want to raise a kid who's just Pokemon cards.
No, but I think there's those sorts of nerdy circles that suit boys a bit better than... Because otherwise... Because at first, there's just too many boys, and so you end up with these, like, girls in the geek group who have all the boys kind of chasing for their attention.
Yeah.
And then...
I remember those girls.
And they're in it because they love the attention, but at the same time, it's like, this is a really weird experience for you growing up. This isn't how any of the rest of your life's going to be unless you just keep to these, like, not fully matured circles.
In a selfish way, I'd like my kids to have friends that I like and get on with. It was different if they were all a Pokemon-y, like, shut-ins. I'd be like...
Well, I think you want your kids to... Well, you want your kids' friends to help them kind of take appropriate risks and grow.
No, that's what I want, yes. Selfishly, but part of me wants them to have friends that I like.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that those are the sort of people that you're attracted to. And now I'm sorry, all my Pokemon friends. Let's be honest, sitting in a basement playing a card game. A lot of these, I've been to a few of the card clubs and been like, maybe I'll come down on Sundays and play. And you walk in, and it is a basement, and it's full of.
Does it smell like salt vinegar? Because like soft play areas always smell like salt vinegar, and that's what I imagine their basement smell like.
No, but it's odd. It's always a basement. It's always like those incredibly intense white lights. The walls are white, and it's just people there, and
People.
I'm glad they've got fine blokes. I'm glad that they've got a little community, but I do think to myself, I hope you outgrow this community within the next year, because otherwise you're just going to kind of spend your life doing stuff that's not really, I wouldn't say it's that enriching, as it were.
Well, it's very insular as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not really participating in the real world.
No.
It's like people spend too long on video games. Like a bit of video games is fine, isn't it? Whatever. People who spend too much time not being in the real world.
Or almost too much time in anything. There's very few things that have enough broad range inputs that you could say.
Yeah, but I guess if you're doing a sport that you met lots of different people all the time in, then for me, I'd be like, that's enough of a involvement in the real world with other people. And
so cooking it is, Moonbeam. You're not allowed to be a Pokemon training card game.
I'm not sure how you make friends, really. Well, everyone likes eating.
Yeah, I was going to say, turn up with food and everyone's going to bully you but love you.
I never got bullied.
Did you turn up to school with food?
To
people?
Sometimes. My friends. First trying out a new recipe. But I'd also host dinner parties when I was like 13.
It's all right, Pokemon people, you're back. It's all right. You don't seem that bad no more. It's my 13-year-old going on 40-year-old over here.
Hey, I was friends with the cool peeps.
They were just using you to get to your food.
Cool peeps eat too. No. Well, I say, I'm just such a lovely person. I used to have my, like, what's it called, Galentine's or whatever it is, your friendship Valentine's. I used to do a dinner party for that each year. But all my single peeps over. Also, I was single every year. I was single every year since I was with you. We'd have a nice big old dinner. I'd always bring food to a house party. I think it's rude to go anywhere without anything. People always appreciate it. You go to a house party, no one expects you to bring them a gift.
I completely agree. And also, people are always hungry at a house party because they've been drinking. But it's just I wouldn't necessarily feel the correct degree of appreciation if I'd rocked up at some of the house parties that I went to with some food that I'd made and just watched drunk people obliterate it.
You don't. It's sounds great for them to have the next day. So you just go to them and you put it in their fridge or something.
Uh,
Or it's like a box of biscuits and you just put it in the cupboard for them. You know. It's not as though it's necessarily something you're giving to the party. You're giving it to the host. Although one time I did get upset. I told you this the other day when I made my friend this beautiful cake for her birthday. It's her birthday party. I was like, I'll make you a birthday cake. And I spent ages. It was like this rich chocolate cake. I did like an orange mascarpone buttercream. I made my own chocolate marzipan. Oh, it was stunning. It had 6 layers. Beautiful cake. Brought it over. Obviously, I was a bit late because the cake took me fucking ages.
Oh, and you don't like being late either, so...
Nah, to a house party I was alright because it's not like a set time. You don't arrive at the start because it's always awkward, isn't it? The start of the party was a bit shit. Anyway, I arrived. Everyone was quite drunk. It was my friend Katie. I gave her the cake. She was really happy with it. We did all that. We did the candles. Lovely. You know, she was very appreciative. But then Greg, sweet fucking Greg, came in and decided it'd be great just to punch my cake.
Yeah, there's always going to be someone like that. That's the other problem.
That's what you would have been. I think here's what you would have been. I tell a story now. I'm like, I could see you had done that when you were younger.
Yeah, potentially.
I'd
have to know.
You wouldn't have realised how much of a dick and move it was.
If I knew the person whose birthday it was well enough, yeah, that could have been me.
Yeah.
My friends never had loose enough parents to know the person hosting that well, do you know what I mean? The people that I was close to.
Your boys never hosted parties?
No. Like, think about my mum wasn't,
well, obviously your mum wasn't going to.
No. Hey, mum. and like, I did. Linda's not. Linda's pretty strict. Lisa.
I say what you said about Lisa. I can imagine she'd be apparently like host it, but like stay there maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think Will would want to deal with Lisa requiring him to clean everything up. I think it'd be like, you can, I'm here, and Will would be very embarrassed by that in the first place. And then I'm going to hold the house to a standard that you've got to upkeep.
I mean, that was a downside to whenever you host a party. Is cleaning up the next day is fucking grim. Because when you're a teenager, you're a grot bag, aren't you? You're horrible.
Yeah.
At a house party, you don't give a shit. And it gets so gross. And me and Jess were trying to have like secret house parties when Mum and Pops were away. They always knew we'd had one, but they always pretended they didn't realise, which was very kind of them to let us feel like we had rebelled, even though they knew we'd had a party. And yeah, cleaning up after those parties was...
Yeah. Actually, wait, Duncan... Yeah, Duncan had one. Duncan had a few. Duncan had a few at his mum's.
Nice.
Yeah. Sausage fest. Real sausage.
Yeah.
That was also the party that someone was sat on the toilet with a bowl, shitting and vomiting at the same time. As you can tell, full of girls, this party.
And if they were, you were all getting laid.
Just me down in 400ml of vodka to then chunder, and then someone having to come in and poo and chunder at the same time. Yeah, it was good. Good stuff.
Our parties were a lot more mixed, if I'm honest.
Not to say I didn't go to mixed parties, but none of my friends hosted
I
it.
feel like you didn't, though. I feel like you just went to the
I did.
sausage fest parties. My parents would always ask me, every time I was going to a party, they'd be like, oh, there'll be boys there. And I was like, I don't go to a nunnery. Of course there's going to be boys there. Why would I just go to a single-sex girls' party?
You're not just having pillow fights.
No, funny enough.
I did, and I would always be the person who would end up staying over, and because I always wake up early, I would be the person who'd like clean up. The mixed parties that I went to, I ended up making pancakes
It's not bad reputation.
because I'd always wake up at like 6 in the morning.
Oh, you never made me pancakes.
You haven't hosted me a party. Oh, you have hosted me a
I've
party.
hosted you quite a few parties, actually. Thanks very much.
Pancakes.
No. No, over there.
Fuck me, that's tragic. Eh?
Almost
I've made
9.
you other things.
Almost 9, yes.
Made you other things. Better things than pancakes.
Just then.
Anyway, and also, I don't think
Just
the host
host
really
several
liked
times.
it because she'd come down and I'd have just used everything in her kitchen to make these pancakes. So I'd have got rid of like the first layer of mess, like the cans, the bottles, the easy shit, and it would all be kind of in the corner to go out. And then there'd be loads of washing up to do because I'd been mixing
Oh, yeah, if
stuff
you're making
and-
food sauces, you've got to do the cleaning up as well.
Nah, I've cleaned up everyone's base level of mess. Then I've made them fucking food. They clean up after me. But it would also mean that.
I know how messy you are when you cook.
But it would also mean that I would get to experiment with other people's ingredients, which I quite liked. So I think I had a Viennetta pancake while I was there because everyone else was still sleeping. I was like, well, fuck, these pancakes going stale. Let's have a look at what we got going around. So I cut up some Viennetta and put them.
Oh, Viennetta, Viennetta when you hear. There's like a mint Viennetta as well.
Yeah, mint Viennetta in the pancake. Still warm. The pancake.
The plain Viennetta, was that? Yeah. The strawberry I did not like.
I think I did that 2 or 3 times. Other times I'd just sleep in my car and then go home in the morning. I lived quite far away, like a loner.
Yeah, we always said to me just would stay over. Either at parties, at the party's house, or like friends who live near. Generally just friends who live near, because you don't really want to stay at the house.
No.
You want to get roasted dust in cleaning, generally. If you're not at the party.
I never really minded doing that first level of mess. I didn't want to do like the proper cleaning. I think it's one of those things. It's the easy win
It
that
is.
job because
If you do it, everyone's like, so grateful. But
Exactly.
you're like, actually, do it gross.
exactly. People think it's such a big deal because they've just woken up and they feel like shit. Me and you are morning people, and by the time we wake up, it's like let's just fucking get on with this. And it's like you say, it's not cleaning up sick. It's not scrubbing the walls for whatever's been spilt. It's literally just grab a few bin bags, hurricane through that house, put them in the corner, fuck off. And everyone's like, oh wow, so grateful. And you're like, yeah, cheers, bye. So that would be my recommended.
Actually, I used to just go straight to work most of the time. That's what I remember doing. I would take the early shift at work. and I would just get a taxi to work. And just arrive at work still drunk.
Anyway, so, and probably a good amount of chat on this thing. Let's get back to the
Actual baby chat.
the actual baby chat.
So that was our first week that down.
But what I've got to ask is, what is it that means that you haven't shared our podcast yet?
Forgetfulness.
What are the reservations? I don't believe you.
There's no reservation.
I don't believe you. I ask you every day.
I don't know if you've realised how scatty my brain is right now. I don't remember anything. I've got so many things I meant to have done, I haven't done them. But this is one of many things. Just grow it in a growing list of shit I've not done. Yeah. No reservations. Not listen to it, it's not nothing to be reserved about, because I have no idea what it's like, I'm not listening to it.
No, I know, but I mean, it's in like, you just haven't told anybody yet. Never mind.
Why do you think there's no conspiracy behind this?
Because I just feel like there must be some unconscious bias there, and the sort of deep lurking thought that means that you don't do it. Because if I'd asked you, like, if I've asked you 3 times and you say, yeah, I'm going to do it, there must be a reason why you don't end up doing it. Because I've sent you kind of like stuff to share and stuff like that. So.
No, the thing you said, so I've literally just keep forgetting to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no reservations, darling.
All right then. So
I'll send it right. I'll send it right now.
No, don't do that, because I'm meant to be concentrating on making the next episode.
Well, I will forget then.
Okay, I'll remind you straight after the
That's
end
fine.
of this episode.
You will. There isn't a wide conspiracy. It's just.
You want to humiliate me?
It's just.
Have me share it all.
It's just baby brain. You've got to be understanding.
I am, but if I ask you like 3 or 4 times and you don't do it, I'm gonna think that there's a reason beyond just being tired.
That's fair enough, but at the moment, no. What is beyond tiredness? It's that all weird hormones and lots of mixture of things that makes my brain mush. If I was back to work right now, I think I'd be.
So, also,
awful.
at where I work, we had a Global Values Week, which I missed because I was away on paternity leave. And it transpired that one of the people interviewed Jacinda Ardern, the former New Zealand Prime Minister. And I didn't realise the full extent of it, but she gave birth during her term. And it wasn't like she kind of took that long off or did anything like that. I'd seen news of it, but I hadn't really fully processed it. But she was pregnant during her term, she was with newborn, all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm sorry, love, but you weren't high functioning, let's say, towards the end. You were pretty checked out on your work in that last month.
No, I was like loads of work.
No, you did loads of work, but you were struggling to be passionate about it, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I feel like if you've got to try and run a country through the end of COVID, that would be rough. Like, yeah, you did more work. I keep telling you to stop doing work, but like, you were.
I didn't want to do it necessarily, but I was doing it.
And then also imagine like now.
Oh no, I think fair play to her. I definitely wouldn't want to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like all these things, if I had to, I would, and I could. Because you step up when you have to.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to.
No.
I also wouldn't want to because I wouldn't want to not be with her or have her be my focus. Like it's nice being able to have her be my sole focus because, you know, she's the most amazing thing and precious gift, and I love being able to have that time of focusing on her. But if I had to go back to work, I could do it.
But also one of the things that's quite interesting is she pointed out that people always come up to her, and as women always come up to her and say, "Oh my, it's so amazing that you've managed to have it all."
Mm-hmm.
And then she kind of often corrects them and sort of says, "No, it wasn't me that did this all. You know, my husband's basically a full-time parent, incredibly supportive, and obviously she's going to have like people around her as well. She's the Prime Minister of New Zealand."
No, she's probably got help. Well, you know, no one ever does anything by themselves, do they?
Well, you wouldn't have got pregnant by yourself.
I definitely wouldn't have, no. No, you always have to have a support network. You can't do anything by yourself. You know, if I was to go back to work now, you would need to do more like whether that meant you didn't go to work or whatever it was like.
You don't earn enough, love.
Well, I know I don't know enough, but if I did.
If you earn 100k, no. If you earn 150k, so I'll retire. I'll be full-time dad.
Well, I don't want either of us to do that. I don't either of us want our children to be our sole focus.
I didn't say there would be.
But that's what I expect.
They'd be my prime focus. They wouldn't be my sole focus.
But yeah, that's how it has to be. Like, like when I go back to work, you're not going to work.
Yeah, but that's also because it's within the maternity period. It's
Yeah.
like within that 9-month window.
Yeah. But it can be shared. I'm just saying, generally someone has to do more in different areas. And at that point, she won't be needing my boobies as much. Well, she will for a while.
Do you have any other points to discuss from the week?
Oh, sorry. My little nipple covers are ticking in.
I guess this is something that we brought up in one of the beginning episodes, but haven't really updated on. I think one of the first episodes, you had cabbage in your tit, didn't you?
I did have cabbage. I've upgraded from Savoy cabbage to
Silver.
silver. The
Yeah.
silver nipple covers.
You got the
The
silver
tiny
it.
little bowls. Tiny
Yeah,
little
the
silver
silver
bowls
it.
that just go onto my nipples.
And you and your doorbell nips had to go for the maxi size, didn't you?
Did. Yeah. But my nipples are never not erect anymore. I don't know if that stops when you stop breastfeeding, or that's just for the rest of my life. Just have erect nipples now. But I've got like a good sort of like centimetre and a half.
Boing.
Yeah. I'm just out nipple. Always. And it makes it really difficult when I get out of the shower and I'm drying myself because when the towel rubs over them,
Ooh.
I'm like, oh no. So I have to dry myself leaning forward like this. So I'm bent over, drying myself. So the towel falls away from my body. So it doesn't go and touch my nipples. And then to dry my nipples, I just hold the towel and just cup like this. I just pat dry my boobies. Just to avoid any rubbing on the old nipples.
Savage.
Yeah. Just another one of the glamorous elements of early motherhood.
Yeah. Anything more on your silverettes versus cabbages, or are we done?
I think cabbage did help, but it did make you smell cabbagey. At a point where I already feel like I smell weird.
And surely it's like cabbagey cheesy as well. It's not just
Yeah,
cabbagey.
well, I mean, the booby milk smell, it's not cheesy, it's just more like acidic when it's been there a while. It's quite an acidic smell.
That's an oddity, eh?
So acidy cabbage.
Nice.
Acid cabbage, I think it could be like a weird band. Yeah, we're acid cabbage.
What genre? I think definitely electro of some kind, yeah? Or like those bands that are a band but verge on the electro version.
Maybe like vegan electro.
Vegan electro.
Or just like that pious. Like they always have a real like cool message where it's like, eat your greens.
While taking acid. Spiritual awakening, healthy.
Absolutely. Mix some like LSD with your spirulina.
So you recommend silverettes above the cabbage?
I think cabbage works well, and definitely if you want to be on a budget, much better.
I mean, people say that, but they're only like 30 quid, the silverettes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Talking about 25 to 35. Yeah,
Just
I
saying.
guess there is a lot of shit that you end up buying when you first get a baby.
Cabbage obviously much cheaper.
And it's not that high of a priority. So.
And if you've got a dog, you feed them to your dog.
Hey everyone. So, it's 5:15. I've been up since 2:30. And I thought to myself, oh, I haven't asked these lovely listeners to review the podcast. So, thank you for all listening. Thank you for your time. And if you've liked it, please leave us a review.
So my funny is probably Tuesday night when we were sleeping, and so we decided to try and do our split largely in bed. Or no, how did we do the split? Oh yeah, we did 2 hours. I was awake for 8 till 11 while you were in bed, and then you were awake from 11 till 5 while I was asleep, and then you were asleep from 5 till 8 while I was awake with her. And we both I spent much of my 6 hours or however long it is constantly waking up going, is it my turn? And you also spent much of your time constantly waking up going, is it my turn?
And I kept thinking I was hearing you coming up the stairs because you were downstairs. I kept thinking I was hearing you walk up the stairs.
But I just love how we're so tired, but yet we just keep being like, oh, we need to go look after the baby. I just find it so odd that it's so, this obligation is so wired.
And also, we're just deeply neurotic people anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
that combination together, because we're going to be like, we must make sure we're doing our part.
Yeah.
So add that together. Beautiful mix.
But yeah, I'd keep waking up being like, is it my turn? And you'd be like, no, go back to sleep. And then when I came in to see you later and I was like, oh, how do you sleep? And you're like, rubbish. I kept thinking it was my turn and waking up. So there we were trying to create this brilliant sleeping pattern and no, not working.
No, I mean, last night, at one point, you didn't wake up too many times actually when I had her. At one point, you're like, have you got her? I need to go to the toilet. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, can you grab her, please? And I was like, from where? She's in my arms. And you thought she was rolling around in the bed. I was like, why would I leave her in the bed?
You just let her roll about the place. You do, you free spirit.
I thought she's not there. And you're like, really? I was like, yeah, you can open the duvet.
And wasn't I like fanning about with a pillow at one point, thinking it was
That was
her?
a different day. A different day you were cradling it. Cradling the
Was that
pillow.
the Tuesday night? No.
I don't know. They all blur into one, darling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it was a weird one. I thought I was looking after her. I thought the pillow was her. I was cradling the pillow. Then I realised the pillow wasn't her, and it was all over the place, that one. And you were just there laughing at me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was all lovely. You said you didn't want a doting partner.
No, I agree, but it's just when you're there, basically having a breakdown, then your partner's on the other side of the bed. I agree. That was the whole message of this podcast: was parenting's not going to be easy, but let's at least laugh about it.
Yeah.
So.
Like when you had to pick up one of my blood clots from the floor.
Yeah. Just dropped a blood clot in the bathroom. Straight out the fanny. Nice big juicy blood clot.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Bits of my body falling out. Just dropping out. Hopefully we're past that stage now. And then more blood clots are dropping on the floor.
So how about you? I'll come back to my others. You choose one to go high, low, or
Is that because
funny.
you've not got them?
I've got them. They're not great. No, never mind.
What's my high? I think yesterday was a really good day. Just that I would say the whole of yesterday.
Other than one little bit, hey?
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's my low or not, but that's not my low. But anyway, we spent the whole day out. She had her longest day out yesterday. She was out for like sort of 10 hours. Drove over to my mum's, had a little coffee with my mum, and then we drove down to Bristol to see my granny, so her great granny. I spent the day with her. She was really good. She's slept well, fed well, was just generally a charming little baby. Went back to mum, thought to see my sis. She was great again. Came back home, she's all good. She's fed well again, slept well. She was just generally a nice baby today. Although when I was at my mum's, got out of the car, walking down the alleyway to get to her, and it was slimy as fuck, like, mossy algae like path. Didn't realise I was wearing flip-flops because everyone wears flip-flops in November. And slipped over, and obviously you go into a massive panic mode. You're like, protect that baby, and so you go, fuck me, it doesn't matter if I die, but this baby must be safe. When like flipped down, scratched down my foot, cracked down to my knee, and then started falling back and went no. So like took the brunt of it on my hip. She was absolutely fine. She slept through the whole thing. And I was just like on the crumpled pile on the floor. This woman just walked past, looking at me.
She walked past and what a bitch.
And I was like, yep, don't worry, like I just like sitting on the wet floor with my baby. It's fine. So I got myself out of my bed for moments, but obviously your heart is like pumping through your chest. Like, because obviously you're saying, God, that could have gone so badly wrong. But yeah, she's all good. I've now fucked my knee, it's really sore. This is my hip and toe. I think the bruises are on the way. They're going to blossom because I bruise very easily. And there were some pretty hefty hits. So that's going to be a good look. I was actually unbruised for the first time. Like ever. That didn't last long.
So is that your high and your low in one?
I don't think it's like my low. I mean, it would have been low if like she'd actually hurt herself.
Yeah.
It was panicky. I wouldn't think it was a low. Actually, I had a low day the other day, actually. So I had whole days for my good temper. And like Thursday, after she'd had the tongue tie, that was all grand and everything. But I was just quite tired that day and just having, I don't know, maybe it was just a low day.
Well, it was a big day for you. Like, you were out 10 hours. You've got to remember that you've kind of gone from basically being a walking
Not on
incubator.
tongue tie day. not on Thursday. That
Oh,
was
on
tennis.
Thursday. Sorry, yeah.
We were only out for a few hours just to get a snip done, and then we
Yeah.
came back. But yeah, don't know. Low day, just wandering
that's
around.
sad.
One point I was wandering around Tesco's with her, just because I was just like, trying to get her to calm down, and I just kept almost crying while picking up things. I was
Oh
like,
no, you didn't tell me about this.
"Oh, you came home late." So, and then the next day I was out.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing particularly bad. You know, you're just feeling a bit like
Yeah.
just a bit shit.
Flopsy.
I was just like, I'm not doing a very good job. Yeah. Just don't really. Felt like one of those days you're just not really doing very well.
I think we're doing an alright job.
I think we are. It's just one of those days where your head's in the wrong space.
Yeah.
Woke up yesterday, I felt grand.
I think that's the weird thing, isn't it? That like you are just going to have those days, irrespective of how well you're doing, where you just kind of the self doubt of am I doing
God,
an
yeah.
alright
And then
job?
throwing a hell of a lot of sleep debt.
Yeah.
And for me, massive hormonal changes all the time. It's a potent mix.
Definitely. I think my height. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was just kind of like, well, actually, I was thinking about it today. I don't really appreciate how not easy but smooth it's been.
Mm.
Like, other than the tongue tie thing, everything else has just been, the labour and everything. It wasn't the labour you wanted, but
No, it was fine.
even
yeah.
though, like, our recount of it sounds almost kind of traumatic in terms of the stuff like the stitching. All these things aren't really like
No.
horrendous. They just could have been a bit of a inconvenience. But there are, some people, like your friends,
Mm.
have some real traumatic times with labour, and then babies being colicky, jaundicey.
I mean, colic can still come for us.
Yeah, it could still come for us, but we're doing well. Count your blessings while you got them.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I think I've kind of been trying to be a bit more appreciative of that.
I think it's important to count your blessings. I think even when those times happen,
Yeah.
I think we're still incredibly lucky. We've got each other. We love each other. We're supportive of each other. Yeah, at the moment we're not getting intimacy in our relationship, which is hard because we're used to having that. We've been together for almost 9 years, and because we've never had a baby until this point,
And it's something that we both really value.
yeah, we do both really value that. That's why it was nice we got even that 10 minutes of cuddling this morning.
Yeah.
And so that's a struggle, but we know that'll come back. We know it's only temporary. And it's just sort of point that you have to accept it for what it is. This isn't the time of lots of intimacy in our relationship. But we've got a strong enough relationship that we'll be fine. I'm saying all this. You think that you feel the same?
No, I do, yeah. I just, again, it's one of those things that makes me want to push to try and get her to sleep better sooner, so that we can have her in that next to me, and then we can have more intimacy. We can spoon while she's safe lying in the next to me, as it were. It's not something kind of a case of, oh, you're on, or that it's your turn, my turn, and then almost doing, because we effectively almost have a relay. Our night times are relays with the baton as the baby, and sleep is so valuable that the idea of kind of waking up 15 minutes early so that we can have a snuggle, or vice versa, it's kind of a bit like, what's more important?
I mean, I'd happily take a 15-minute cut for a snuggle.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. And everybody seems 15 minutes is going to make no difference. And so I definitely take a 15-minute cut from a sleep for a friend. That's snuggle time.
Remember that?
Have your little morning erection poking me in the bum. For your huge morning erection. Gargantuan.
It's going to make me blush in my voice.
And I think now I feel much more comfortable with how she's eating and stuff. I think we can look into going on a date and stuff.
Yeah, I think that, so this is actually my low. Kind of trying to get, I've not been great in the night feeds. I've struggled with trying to get her to keep it down. And I think that, if we were to go on a date or something, who would it be that would bottle feed her? And are they...
Probably mum.
Yeah. I guess your mum's well enough experience. So it's been a while though since she's bottle fed a baby. No,
She's not amazing little.
I think that's true. It's just she. So my low, I guess, is the amount of time she's just been sick during the night, just because you've kind of just woken up from sleep, or you're incredibly groggy and tired, and you're kind of dozing off while you're trying to feed her. So you're trying to find something else that will stimulate you, because just a bottle to a baby's face isn't going to keep you awake. So you put something on the telly, or you've got like Instagram on your phone, or you've got Pokemon the trading card game going. They need to sponsor me. And then you kind of, but you're also too tired to multitask. You can't do that kind of half and half thing. So you just end up focusing on one. And then next thing you go, oh shit, how long have I kind of given her the bottle? You take the bottle away, you kind of then do the burping and stuff like that. She's not sick then, so you're like, oh, I'm in the clear. You wait a little bit, she starts crying, you go, okay, bottle feed her again. And then like 10, 15 minutes later, she's feeling really sleepy. Like there was one moment where it was actually quite worrying this week. She's kind of sleeping and you go, oh, okay, I'll go put her in the nest. She was in the nest. I came along and I was like, okay, she's still sleeping. I laid down on the sofa and the next thing I heard was spluttering. I was like, that sounded a bit odd. I should probably go check on it. And she'd just been sick, kind of all down herself. And obviously sick while she was lying there and sleeping. And so I guess it's just kind of being better at those nighttime feeds in terms of, I think the easy win is those pauses between certain amounts of feed. Like, you know, I'm currently doing 10 minutes after every 30 mil or something. And it does mean that, it either means that, like after the first 30 mil, she'll just scream at me for the 10 minutes until the next 30 mil. And then after the second 30 mil, she just falls asleep. So you have to wake her. And that one I find is more of a risk because...
Yeah, if she falls asleep, don't you wake her?
No?
No.
Okay, because I've found that the problem can be that if I try and feed her when she's not actively looking for a feed...
Yeah, don't you do that?
Oh, okay. I just assumed that, you know, the feed sizes are meant to be 90 to 120.
There'll be time when she feeds more, and time when she feeds less.
Yeah.
You know, and then you give her a feed. But yeah, if she doesn't want it all, you don't need to give it to her all.
But yeah, I guess that's the thing that I feel most guilty about is when she's kind of sick.
I get that. I think that's just babies are sick. Yeah, I think babies are sick just because she's not generally sick. I think we find it more shocking.
Well, it's not just that. If babies are meant to be eating every sort of 2-3 hours, she'll be sick, but she won't. All right. Hopefully that'll help decrease the vomiting. This gone also. I'm also remembering to just always do the main feed.
With Gaviscon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine because
Gaviscon.
generally, if I fed her before you get her,
and I'll always do that one as a 120 ml because that's the minimum for the Gaviscon.
Yeah. And there's 5 hours generally you're on shift.
Yeah.
She might only have one feed.
Yeah.
And then so when you hand her back to me, I feed it straight away. Because at that point, my boobs are like, I need to feed her anyway.
Popping.
And so I think that's how you can focus on it. You're not stressing yourself out. And it's not like she's underweight anymore.
No.
She's not losing weight, she's gaining weight well. So what? So what? Let's see, what was my funny? My breast. Oh yeah, I was just trying to check if she needed to have a nappy changed earlier. So, undid her baby grow, just pulled her nappy to one side, but then as I was checking, she then started firing loads of wee out at me.
Firing it straight at you.
Firing. It's quite propulsive. Because normally she wees like a sort of waterfall, is it? Like a little limp waterfall.
Yeah, it just looks like something's overflowing.
Yeah.
Like you filled your jug too much.
Yeah, but this is quite a...
Really? Just gave it some power.
Give it some willy.
Showing off the pelvic floor to you.
Yeah, just like, hey, you don't have this anymore, Mum. I destroyed this for you. I have started my pelvic floor training this week.
How are you finding that?
I mean, depressing in the sense that I don't have any anymore. Like, normally where I've used to be able to, like, well, no, it's not true. It is there, but it's just so weak compared to what it used to be. Like, you're doing those sort of exercises, sort of clenching, and it sort of should tell you to, like, imagine a blueberry out, opening of your vagina that you're sucking this blueberry in.
Yeah, I just can't visualize that. Someone even said that supposedly you do the same for men. I was like, it just wouldn't resonate with me, sucking a blueberry into my japs.
Well, I think what they do is they say just imagining like you're stopping yourself mid-flow. That's what it is. So like,
well, I actually practice that though when I'm weeing.
Well, yeah, that's good.
But what's the difference between that and like the key? Isn't that also powered by your Kegel exercise?
I think it's all size.
I think Chloe was correcting me for someone else. I'm pretty sure it's the same, but never mind. Okay, so you're sucking blueberries in your vag.
Yeah, I'm full of blueberries now. So I just take it
And
literally.
for some reason, I can't wait.
Yeah, so sort of like, you do like glute bridges and things. And they sort of imagine like all sorts of tightening and sucking and pulling in. And you do it on your exhale. So as you sort of hold it in. But yeah, you can definitely feel it. Like it feels a bit sore afterwards. So, like doing glute bridges and stuff, which like body weight glute bridges generally, not a challenge, but feel much more of a challenge now.
So just so that people kind of know, because obviously it's something that everyone hears about but doesn't really understand what's required. What is kind of the program to get back? You know, to go from where you are to getting your pelvic floor back.
When I'm just starting, it's consistency like most things.
But I mean, you've got a program now that you've bought from somebody for something.
Oh yeah.
What's the kind of expectations in that program for you?
Well, that program for like is focuses on your pelvic floor and your abdominals particularly. But yeah, so this program that I started on is, the first week is just actually practicing. You're focusing on your breathing and how to breathe and engage properly. That's just the first week of practicing. So like how to breathe and engage your pelvic floor and core properly. And the next week you start moving on to doing actual exercises. It's like 3 times a week you do exercises to focus on strengthening your pelvic floor and your core.
And how long's the
The
exercise?
5 week.
Oh, so it's 5 weeks. Okay, 5 weeks. And how many do you do a week? 3.
Yeah.
And how long's each workout?
I don't know. I think they're probably about half an hour.
Oh, really? That's quite long. So it's a proper workout. It's
Yeah.
not just kind of like specific exercises for. Okay, I would have just assumed it was like 5-10 minute exercises that you do daily, kind of thing.
I mean, you do it alongside other stuff, I think, because obviously you would want to work out the rest of your body, and it'll
Yeah.
do sort of like it'll do your core, it'll probably do a bit of your glute with that, and lower back, obviously. That's all that sort of area. But you need to do stuff to work out the rest of your body.
Speaking of which, 6-week check-ins next week some point, is there? Or is
No,
it the
week after.
Week after. Okay.
After your birthday, it's that Monday.
Garage to have our car service.
So yeah, that's when I can hope that if the doctor will be like, yeah, you're all good, and I can start exercising.
Go back to doing them deadlifts, them squats, them. Get back into your strongman routine. I want to see them.
My strongman routine.
Yeah, power cleans and all sorts. Want to get you back on the powerlifting stage.
Because I've been there so many times, the powerlifting stage.
No, I'm just joking because it's obviously such a 180 from where you are now to go from kind of basically not being able to do anything for over 9 months. Well, I guess you didn't realise you were pregnant immediately, but 7 months at minimum at least, and then to being, to then being active. I'll be quite interested. Want to go back.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause obviously, I felt so rough at the beginning of the pregnancy. I didn't do anything, and then afterwards, felt too knackered, and I was always quite scared throughout the whole pregnancy because of our miscarriage that we had before. I was always quite scared to do exercise, even though I know it's fine. There's still parts through that's like, push out, lots of neuroticisms. But a large part of my training now is I want to train ready for our next pregnancy. Because hopefully, we'd like to have another baby.
That we would.
Not for like a couple of years, but want to get my body strong. Because now, from this pregnancy, I know what areas suffer.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure I strengthen those ready for it. So like really working on like my posterior chain, so like my back and my glutes. And my
Pop an ass.
Absolutely.
Get that big ass.
And like my hip flexors, because my hips got really sore, didn't they?
Yeah.
Being tall, it's longer levers, your hips suffer a lot more. So I want to make sure I work on that, strengthening that quite a lot. So that next time, my body, hopefully, better equipped. So, I don't know. I don't have any scat chat from this week, I don't think.
No, okay, so we're ready for the public
Scat
story.
chat! Itchy boobs.
Okay, here we go. From the lovely people of Reddit. This is from Charlucka-Pants. So he says, okay, we've been pretty lucky so far with the occasional blowout, and that's on us. We sized up diapers before she was ready, but when my nephew was a baby, he had projectile diarrhea on the walls, curtains, everything. My sister's...
That's some real force.
Yeah. My sister's dog came in and started eating it. My brother-in-law took the dog downstairs to clean his mouth and brush his teeth. And at that point, the dog vomited the poop back up on him.
Oh, that's rough, isn't it? That's a rough day.
He ends it with literally something from a sitcom. That is just, yeah, can you imagine? You're like, oh no, poor baby's got projectile diarrhea. Let's try and clean that up. You're going to be feeling real bad. You're going to be hurrying around, scurrying. You're going to be that mixture of kind of feeling guilty but pissed off at the same time. And then your dog starts eating it. That just elevates that kind of guilt and pissed off because you're like, oh, my dog shouldn't eat diarrhea.
And slightly
Why the fuck's
disgusted
he
as
eating?
well.
Yeah, and disgusted. And then you go to clean it, and then I guess you stop feeling guilty once your dog vomits on you. You're just going to be fully pissed off and disgusted at that point. What a roller coaster of an afternoon that would have been, eh?
Yeah, I'm really glad the fact he's not showing an interest in eating the poo yet.
Oh, he has. Every time she poos, when I'm changing, I can tell when he's.
Oh, he just come near, yeah.
He comes over and really digs his nose in to try and smell what's going on. He's not tried to eat it as per se, but he's in. I've started to kind of know when it's a poo because he
piques an interest. Yeah,
he rummages his head as far into a nappy as he can get it, to the point that I'm probably like, that's a bit invasive, pup. Let's move your head out of there.
Yeah, it's a bit much. You got to learn to be a bit gentle.
Yeah.
She got to meet Mum's dogs this week.
She did.
Nancy and Sid. Nancy was licking your face and your ear, and she quite liked it actually. She gave a little giggle.
Did she?
Well, not a little giggle, but like a little.
Oh, I missed that.
I was like, oh, she quite liked it. And then Sid just sat there watching her because Sid absolutely loved anything that's a baby. Farty girl.
I've been farting as well, so she must have enjoyed the little rumblings. I've done mine quietly. Or did she just pop off, didn't you?
Yeah, she doesn't have any embarrassment about it yet. So she shouldn't. We've probably blabbed on enough for this week, haven't we?
Thank you very much, lovely people.
Yeah, been an interesting whole week. My babies are starting to feel a bit full, so everything should be up for a feed soon. Laters.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Hi, my lovelies. Thank you for listening. Can you please like, review, and subscribe to our podcast?